What's going on, everybody? Tom Olson here, and we are finally here. We are on day 30 of the 30 Days to Good Success journey. We are pretty much all the way through this big book here. We have put in the effort. We have put in the work. We have made it happen. You guys are just about done. I am so proud of you for taking the time to watch these videos, to write down your answers, to start making plans, to be honest with yourself. This whole book is all about being honest with yourself. It's all about being honest about what you want, why you want it, why you were created. If you get nothing else from this entire book other than to know what your purpose is and to help put yourself on that track to be closer to fulfilling that purpose today than you were yesterday, then I believe that this is a success. Whether or not I sell thousands or millions of these books as I plan to, or whether or not the good success name goes out and more people buy stuff from us, or more people kind of come into the good success community, it doesn't matter to me. What really matters to me is that you got help. So I would love for you to tell us about the stories, about the things that maybe came to life in this book from you. I'd love to hear some good success stories. Something else that we're doing that I'm going to offer to you guys here, because you guys have already committed almost 8 hours of your time watching these videos. We are starting something at Good Success that I'm so excited about. It is called Good Success Stories. So much time is spent on social media, so much time is spent out there listening, watching, and people just spewing forth anger and malice and contempt for one another. I can't even watch the news because there's so much negativity out there. I hate it. It turns my soul and my spirit upside down. So I want to change that. And I think that part of what Good Success can be here to do in this world and living in this century is to help change the messaging out there, to help create stories, good stories, wholesome stories that you would want to tell other people, stories that you're like, hey, as a family, I want you to sit down and watch this story. We're going to call this Good Success Story. So if you've been through something and God has come through for you, or if you have received an amazing blessing and you want to be able to share that with other people, if you want to encourage others, if you want to challenge others to do the right thing and to do better and to continually striving to do to do more, to work harder so they can have more, but not so they can have, but so that they can share and give those experiences or give money or whatever it is to other people, whatever you've been created for. Because I believe what you've been created for is different than what I've been created for. I know I've got two big goals in my life. One is to give away $1 billion, and the other one is to flip the city of Gary, Indiana. And I know that what God created you for is something totally different. So this chapter especially, I want you to be thinking about that. I want you to be thinking about your purpose. Why did God create you? How are you going to live your life trying to help the person that you think will live their life thanking God that you lived yours? So question number 30, this is our last question for this workbook, and I'm excited about it and excited to get through it. So question number 30 is, what relationship would make the biggest impact on your business? What relationship would make the biggest impact on your business? I've often heard it said that your network is your net worth. Or you could say it the other way, your net worth is your net work. So basically your network or your community, I like the word community better. It's one of our core values is community. I've already said this in these videos, but our core values are charity, stewardship, community, and growth. And we've talked about several different things in this. We talked about our top 5, for instance, when it comes to community. So the question here is, what relationship would make the biggest impact on your business? And I'm going to tell you, for me, I have found that masterminds have been the number one biggest lever, the biggest leverage that I have had in my business. And maybe that's the answer for you. Maybe what you need right now is a mastermind. And I have one to recommend, the Good Success Mastermind. We do meet 4 times a year. And every time we meet, everybody that comes gets up in the front of the room and they say who they are, what they do, what they're good at, because in order for everybody else in the room to give advice, they kind of need to know a little bit about them, kind of like what this book teaches. So a little bit about them, what they're good at, and then something that they've learned. So there's a little bit of a teaching component to it. And then the most important part of them getting in the front of the room is to ask for help, to say, hey, this is what I'm not good at. Question number 29, what's not working very well. And this is my biggest challenge. If you could help me solve this challenge in my business, it would be the domino that would tip over other dominoes that would help the business grow, or help the business not bleed, or help the business survive, or whatever it is, that stage that you're in your business at that given time. And during that period of 5-10 minutes of getting feedback, that's when the magic happens in a mastermind. You not only get to learn when you're in the hot seat, when you're in the front, when people are holding you accountable, but you also get to learn what everybody else has gone through. And it's an encouragement to know that other successful people out there also have struggles. And sometimes about once a mastermind, and that's even true for myself, there is somebody that is going through something that you went through the exact same thing, and you get to be an encouragement to that person at that time as well. So it is really awesome. I believe, like I said, the mastermind is the biggest leverage point. We have the Community Go Giver clubs around the country, and we also have the National Good Success Mastermind, which is the higher level club. So like I said, that meets four times a year. It is an expense. It is something that it's an investment of yours to be able to invest time into it and invest money into that. But the local ones, I think, are great as well. We also are opening up new local Community Go Giver clubs around the country. So if you're interested in something like that, you can drop us a line and let us know about that as well. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a mastermind, and that's okay. I think everybody should be in a mastermind, and if you're not, I think if you don't like the Good Success one, you ought to go find someone else, or find another mastermind that you can fit into. But like I said, I have spent a lot of time, in these questions, helping you dig down into the truth of where it is that you're at. And maybe something's been a common. You kind of keep coming back to something. Maybe you don't have your numbers right. We found out in the Know Your Numbers boot camp at the mastermind that a lot of people just don't know their numbers. Maybe they need to hire that finance assistant or that CFO type person or bookkeeper. Maybe you need to have a better accountant on your team, or a legal counsel, or an attorney. Maybe you just need an assistant. Maybe you need to have a mentor. Have you thought about the things, your top 5? I asked you who your top 5 were, and during that I mentioned the mastermind to a certain degree. But do you feel like you could open up to your top 5 and actually ask them the hard questions and get good answers from them, that you don't think that is just them trying to give you answers because they think they know it all. It's them giving you answers because they actually care about you. And that's you. Everybody should have a community like that actually is surrounded themselves with people that they think they can go to that care about them. So take a look at all the answers to all these questions, and I think this is an action item here. So once you figured out who it is that you need, what relationship do you need now that's going to help you get that one. So you might have 10 different relationships that you need, but what's the one that you think is going to do the most, have the most impact on you reaching your potential in your purpose this year? What's that one? Your network, I believe, is not only your net worth. I believe it's your survival plan. And it's the businesses that survive over the long haul that actually become super successful. It's not the companies that just fly by night and year one they're crazy, uber successful. Those companies never last. I can think of 1,000 different companies that were amazingly, everybody thought they were the next this or the next that, and they are no longer to be found anymore. I want to work with companies, or I want to be a company like Walmart that is going, like Target, like companies that are just going to continually be there. They're going to be the staples. They're going to keep growing year after year after year after year. So again, remember that your network is not only your net worth, it's also your survival plan. So if you want to get down to page 151, so who do you need in your life right now? Is it a mentor? Maybe it's just a friend? I mean, honestly, I'll be vulnerable here. I think sometimes I need a friend. I need somebody that, hey, maybe they're not even in the same industry that I'm in. I can just go talk to. Maybe I can go on a trip with somewhere. And I have my wife, and she's an amazing person, and I love being with her. We just spent the last week with her. I love being able to talk to God, but sometimes you just need a friend. Maybe that's who it is for you. Maybe it's a mentor. Maybe it's a mastermind. Maybe it's an accountant. Maybe it's a lender. Maybe it's maybe you have money and you're trying to lend money to people. Maybe it's somebody that you believe is a trusted person that's worthy of taking your money. I talk to people all the time and say, hey, I have 150 people that loan money to me. Maybe if you don't want to continually loan to me, you could always loan to me in a way that you could I could teach you the process of being a good lender and knowing how to do proper due diligence, because we try to protect our lenders, and it's almost like an education aspect in a way. Yes, I'm kind of never raising money, but I'm always raising money. But I've done a lot of deals. I've loaned my money out quite a bit, and I've gotten money in from lending, so I can teach that as well. But maybe that's what you need. Maybe you need opportunities with new funds, or maybe different ways to be able to put your money in different financial freedom plan. Maybe you need to talk to a financial advisor. Whatever it is, whoever that is. What are you missing? Who is that person that's missing? And maybe you need a spiritual guidance counselor, or a health coach, or a health and wellness coach, or maybe it's a physical fitness coach, or maybe it's a coach for the gym. Whoever that is in your life, who's that most important one? And then I want you to kind of write down who is your trusted attorney, who is your trusted accountant, and who is your trusted mentor or spiritual advisor. And then I want you to write down activities that you enjoy, or activities that you think you do a lot, maybe. So it says activities I enjoy here on page 151, but maybe just activities that you need in your business. So write down activities you enjoy or know that you need. And then your favorite person to do that activity with. And I think that, again, these will kind of get your mind working towards trying to figure out who that one most important relationship is. And I'll tell you, every year I want to create new relationships. It's one of my big goals for every one of my companies. It's my job, basically. It's one of my big jobs. My top 5 responsibilities for every one of my companies is to create big relationships and to create new relationships that can help our companies. And this is a very important piece. You've got to be willing to get out of yourself, get out of your comfort zone, and go to different groups, go to different places of masterminds, or go to different networking events and just talk to people and say, hey, what is your biggest problem? And really, I think a lot of times people think that they have to have something to say. You don't. Really, the words that you need to say in order to get out and talk to people are, hey, what is your biggest problem? Seriously, learn that question. What is your biggest problem? If I could help you with any problem right now, what would it be? And then shut up. It's one of the keys to life. Shut up. Be quiet. When you ask that question to other people, just stop and listen. I do believe it is one of the strengths of mine, and I didn't even realize it was a strength until a good friend of mine, Eddie Wilson, said, hey, I think Tom is one of the best listeners I've ever met in my life. He's really good at being able to convey to you that he's actually caring enough about you to listen to what you have to say when you have a problem. And I didn't even realize it was a strength, but it really is, because a lot of people just don't pay attention. And if you can be that person that nobody else is willing to be in that room, if you can be that person that's willing to listen, you can learn a lot about people. And knowing people's biggest pain points and knowing people's biggest struggles, it is the most valuable piece of information you can have in order to be able to be a friend. And they say if you want to have friends, you have to be a friend. So just like the book The Go Giver, you've got to give first. It's the same way with a network. You've got to be willing to go find networks that are not just here to serve you, but you can be a help to that network. You can be a help to that community. So I challenge you today, find who it is. What network do you need to connect with? What person, what mentor, what mastermind do you need to join? Whatever it is, or whoever it is, write it down and then try to figure out those favorite people that you'd like to learn those different things from. And maybe it's a hobby, who's my favorite person to go golfing with? I actually have 2 people that I love golfing with. So then ask yourself, am I comfortable? One more last step here. Ask yourself if you're comfortable reaching out to the people that you say are in your top 5. So top 5 was a question we've had probably a couple weeks ago. who's in your top 5. But if the answer to that question is no, you probably should reconsider that top 5, because that top 5 should be people that you can call on the spur of the moment 24/7, and you can say, hey, if I got a problem, this person's probably going to reach out to me. I know there's people in my mastermind that are like that with me, and I love it. I love being that person that they're willing to text and be like, hey, I got a problem right now. I need to make a decision before midnight tonight. What do you think I should do? I love being that person. So again, I'm going to repeat the question one more time. Hopefully you'll get it. Who is that person? Who is that network? What relationship do you need to create this year in order to help you put you on the path to good success? And we all want to have good success. I want to have good success. I want you to have good success. It's a daily thing. I want to remind you guys of that. Don't just go through this book one time. Go through this book again. Take down those answers, write down those answers, and read it through the next time. And then, maybe clearly define those answers. And even like quarterly for us, I challenge you to go through and say those things that you're good at, and say the things that went good this last quarter, and say the things that went bad, or things that you need to stop doing. Remind yourself to continually set goals every year, every quarter, every month, every day, your to-do list. I'm reminding you to set weekly meetings with your teams to go over these things and create to-dos for yourself to do and solve issues. But do this for yourself personally as well. I believe that if you can figure these things out, these are the big, more important things in life. If you can figure out the things in this book, and you can write them down on paper, it's a way in which you can copy yourself. And that's really what you want to do with your kids, and to leave it to the next generation and to build that legacy. This is what you're doing in this book. You're actually building the legacy that you can hand down. This is your story. This is your story that you have written down. You've almost written yourself a journal right now, and you could write yourself a story on the answers to the questions in this book, and you could hand that down to your kids, and your kids then will have something to know, hey, this is how mom and dad created their wealth. This is how mom and dad created their legacy, and this is who they were, and this is why they did what they did. And if I pattern my life after them, maybe, just maybe, my kids will want to pattern themselves after me, just like I want to pattern myself after mom and dad. So I hope this helps you. Again, that is going to do it for today. That's going to do it for this entire 30-day journey. You guys have rocked it. You guys have been awesome. I high five you guys. Thank you guys so much for spending the time and putting in the time and putting in the grit to finish and complete the 30 days to good success journey. I can't say enough about how proud of you I am for making that happen. I just want to remind you one more time, if anything in this book has been a blessing to you, if anything in this book has really helped you rethink life and rethink why you were put on this earth, please let us know about it. Write me a note. We'll put it on our walls. We'll mention you. If there's anything that we can do for you here at Good Success, please let me know. I will even leave my email in this video. It is TOlson, that's TOLSON, at goodsuccess.com. Send me an email. I would love to be able to help you in any way that I possibly can. And again, for the people that have completed this book, if you are willing to share your answers, and if you want to have a one-time half an hour free consultation with me, I will be more than willing to do that with you. But you've got to send me an email, and you've got to get in touch with me that way, and you've got to be willing to share your answers with me so we can kind of review these. And maybe if there's something I can do to help you, like maybe I'm more than willing to recommend a good book if I've read your answers. I'd love to be able to recommend a list of books for you to be able to read. Or stories to be able to help you with, or to ask you a little bit more clarifying questions on some of these answers that you might have. At any point in time, if you're ever interested in any of our other products at Good Success, just let us know, goodsuccess.com. If you're interested in the mastermind, it's goodsuccess/mastermind. We also have the Community Go-Giver event each year where we give away 100% of your seat fee that you pay for here to charity or to nonprofits or community go-givers in the community from our nonprofit called the Community Go-Giver, where we are just trying to help the community. We're trying to use what we've been given to be a conduit, not a bucket, to work, to have, to give. Again, if you don't get anything else from this entire book other than to know why you were placed on this earth, and to put yourself on that path to live a life that matters, that really matters, that in 200 years from now, somebody will remember you and they'll say, hey, man, I am so thankful that that guy lived his life and he lived it this way. And he was the right person doing the right thing for the right reason with the right people for the right amount of time. That's what it's all about. That's what good success is. It's all about being the conduit, not a bucket. Work to have to give. Thank you, guys, so much again. And that's going to do it for today. That's going to do it for this entire 30 days to good success journey. I hope you guys have had 30 good success days. And I hope especially today, you're going to find that one person or that one relationship and you're going to reach out to them. I challenge you to reach out to that person that will help you on your journey to good success. I hope you have a good success day.